and we're having a small discussion, so we thought we'd post it possibly. The thing is, I was talking about the Twilight review that I just did, where I was arguing that Jacob isn't actually a werewolf; he is a shapeshifter like Sam from the True Blood series, which still verifies my point. But like I said, he's not a werewolf because he didn't change to a werewolf; he turns into a wolf. And you were referencing to the Underworld series.
The Underworld series uses the term lycanthrope, and from the research I've done, lycanthrope is an improper term for that, but it would be a better term for Jacob. Because, well, it's not a better term for Jacob. But the shape it's in would be closer. See, the way it works is werewolf comes from the British term were, meaning man, and wolf, which means a wolf-like creature that is in the shape of a man. Up on 2 legs, 2 arms, face like a wolf. Big, burly, hairy body.
There we go.
Don't look like you. Okay. Anyway, a lycanthrope is a creature that changes into a more primitive state, and which is why it's confused with a werewolf. Like a werewolf, he regresses into a more beast-like state, but that's not what it means. A lycanthrope is something that regresses into a more primal state of itself. If a human were to be a lycanthrope, we would turn into an ape-like angry creature. It would be more like in Dragon Ball Z, the Ozaru. Except just not big and lasery, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But a lycanthrope is, say, if there was a wolf that was a lycanthrope, when it got angry or threatened or was like injured, desperation point, whatever, it would regress into it's kind of like a form of super adrenaline.
Yeah.
It would regress into a more primal, angry, violent, stronger, mangier looking version of itself because
Kind of reminds me of a dire wolf.
But the thing about a lycanthrope is it's a creature that can never regenerate. It never takes a human shape. It never takes human form. If a human being would become a lycanthrope, he would become the monkey-like creature, and he would never be able to become a human again. See, in the Underworld series, they start off calling them lycanthropes, which they get that right. But when they become able to turn into human forms again, they cease to be lycanthropes and become werewolves. Now, again, what I said, the problem I had with that series is it's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because of the 3rd movie. If it wasn't for the 3rd movie being a prequel, it wouldn't have bugged me. In the first ones, it explained that the werewolves became able to take human shape again and control it because they had been older and more powerful. It never really explained. Well, I guess that one does explain it, but there's a lot of inconsistencies. Like
regardless,
if you remember in the flashback scene in the first movie showed them all standing around, him chained up in the center of the room, and her chained up with her hands above her head to a post. There's like a ceremony about it, and she's a blonde woman. I remember this.
I know where this
I
is going.
studied this. Yeah. Go look for yourself. Put up an annotation.
I will. We'll get one in the center.
Okay. And it's a ceremony. Like, it's all around. They stand, and she burns. And then, for some reason, they just, I guess, stand there and whip him until the moon comes out. I don't know what the fuck is the point of that. He's a werewolf. He's a werewolf. I don't know. We just executed his greatest love in front of him. Should we kill him now? No, let's wait till the full moon. Sounds like a good idea.
That's a horrible idea.
It really is.
It's kind of like having the bad guy at gunpoint and instead of just killing him, you're like, well, let's be honorable because we know the bad guy is not going to do anything.
Not even that. No, they wait till a full moon to execute the werewolf, who they know in hand-to-hand combat can easily overpower like 5 to 6 people. Even vampires, that's at least 2 or 3, and they only have 2 or 3 guards at this point. But anyway, it'd be like handing him the gun. That's what that is. That's just fucking stupid.
Handing the bad guy the gun.
Stupid. Poke the bear. Poke the bear. Make it angry. I'm not worried about him though. But anyway, in the prequel, she's a brunette. She's chained up in the post in front of him, and instead of her father standing there and watching her burn because he's disappointed in her, and he's a vampire, and he's a prick, like ancient vampires should be. They're not likable people at that point. You've lived 1,000 years. Are you really gonna give a shit about anyone? No. Pricks. Okay. And then it changes to him like, now he's conflicted and he was a loving father the whole time, and instead of him standing there and like, you fucked up, burn. Later. He's now like teary-eyed and the only vampire who's ever cried until Edward Cullen. And then
there were so many
and
problems.
even if you're gonna bitch and say Edward Cullen never cried, fans of real vampires cried after he came out. You.
Not you, because you're watching my video because you hate it too. But you.
And you. It's probably I pointed at some people.
I think we pointed at Jamie most of the time because we know Jamie loves Twilight.
Probably watch this more than
that's poking the bear.
Mm-hmm.
That was totally poking the bear.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about living like thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
I made a point on my video about Edward he was 100 and some years old.
I think it's 107.
She knows it. It's on the video. But
if I'm right,
this is
sorry.
where I said I told them that he screwed up. Jacob was not the pedophile here. It was Edward.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bella was underage.
No, Jacob's the pedophile.
Oh, but but Bella was underage.
He falls in love with the baby. Well, when he sees it, he's like,
"Baby,
I'm gonna marry you. You've still got amniotic sac on your face. It's just pretty."
Actually, it's before he sees the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even. It's worse than that. But
hey, I called it. She's still got amniotic
he
sac
tells
on
him
her
as
face.
he sees him. So, in other words, Twilight is a movie about a bitch who is messing around with two pedophiles. That's the best way to sum that up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good little video.
Mm-hmm.
Very informative.
Yeah.
I learned a little bit today.
Knowledge is half the battle.
Knowledge is power. Anyway, guys, it's Insanobear99
LordGRRAAA.
We're out.